Huzzah! What color's the blanket that you got? I need to get me... No, I don't need to get me any blankets. I might have a ton. We got Chosen, Dark Fan, Halloween Mooncrab, me, Scotch, and Shab. All right. So, shaders are pretty laggy, especially where I live. But I want to kind of show y'all what everything looks like. Because it looks really good over here. I mean, it's not terrible, but I still drop frames like mad. It's just because we have so much Create underground. But the main thing that I really like about this place, especially with the shaders, is, excuse me, my colored glass, because I have these. Ooh, 30 FPS, Jesus. And what's causing the huge spikes and lag is gonna be this, because normally I'm sitting at like the same amount of FPS. Like we've got decent FPS out over here. Heck yeah, killing it. We're balling. Frick it, we ball. And then I come over here and it's like, oh man, we're hitting below 30 FPS. Why is that? I can't even, hold on. It's painful. That's better. It's because all this. And then let me turn up my brightness even. There we go. Oh, Zine's got a tree. He's got a tree farm. Oh yeah, and then Zine's got all of these water wheels. So Zine's producing energy. Oh. Owie. Owie. Blazing blood. That's a large fluid tank. This is why I want to fill up my big tank, which can hold a lot of blaze blood. Cyberspace wants my bones. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but okay. We've got a lot going on here. We also have this. What is your preferred FPS for games? Anything above 60. That's just me, though. So that's why I just leave the shaders off so I can get full force. Now, this is kind of something I want to make, which is a thermoelectric generator. Which I want to say Zine's producing. Well, he's producing. He's producing something. Which is why I'm glad I got him blocks of uranium. I see he needs to put more blue ice. Lava. Well, that was fun. Yeah, heck yeah, nerd. How are you doing, by the way? Exactly. People claiming that 30 is fine are sick in the head. Yeah. I mean, for like cam, sure, 30 could get away with it. If you're on console or a TV, sure, 30 could get away with it. But if we're talking like PC, $60. Otherwise, GTFO. 30 if it's an older system. For movies, yeah. Oof. Yeah, see how the FPS just kind of gets a little iffy. My redstone acid is doing good. Have I been producing melon seed? I've been producing melons this whole time. Are you? Okay. That's fine. Bright melon? Golden melon? Vanilla Delight? What? That's wild. Okay, so I've been producing melons. You don't think you run anything at 120? I could run this at usually like 130. What is it? I think my monitor's set to 144. If I hit VSync, it doesn't really do anything for me because I can't even get the full 144. So I just have it unVsynced and maximum frame rate at like 150. To be honest, I probably could set it to here. And boom, that's my max FPS, but I can get more than that, so I might as well just hit it at to 150. Yeah, max frame rate cap is always better than using EA. Well, it is now, because usually I used to get screen tearing, but we fixed that, so. My bees, they're all producing honey! This is good. This is really good. They're all asleep. So I'm gonna silk touch them. What? There we go. Because they're asleep, they're not gonna aggro. And because I have silk touch in them. So we have a bunch of bazoongas. Alright, and then boom. Because I need to make this taller. We need to make it taller, and I need to get... What's it called? Ugh. I need to get... do we have apiary? Nope. Stands. Hat stand? No. What about pole? I would make your bees have to travel through your crops so they pollinate the crops and they grow faster. That's true. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I have an idea then. Wait. Lattice. Oof. Dark cherry lattice? Ooh. Oh, wait a second. Don't I have... I have saplings. Where are they, though? Why does stuff keep disappearing from my base? I don't like that. I keep having things disappear. Not a fan.
Can I get a Hoya?
Oh, yeah. I don't know where I put my saplings. There are mods for that? Oh, here we go. Dark cherry. Why did I put them in the fridge? What the heck? All right, and then bone meal. All right, let's grow this tree. All right, and then we're just gonna place it. Whoops. Whoopsie daisies. We'll place it right here. Ooh. Fancy, okay. Hello? Bro? What's the TPS? Not a fan. I mean, sure, because you're a goose. I'm goose. Bruh. There we go. So this tree does not act the same. This is weird. Bruh. Okay. Bruh. All right. And then am I really just out of... I've used all the bone meal. That's insane. That's wild. Well, at least we got this. What if you could make bone meal out of the wither skeleton bones? That would be insane. Native Lord of Destruction. No! Ooh, heck yeah, give me that. Oh! I got a cherry from that. What is happening? Okay. Ooh, what was that? Something else had fallen. Oh, I need to be using a hoe. Oh. Oh. Yeah, because I've got... Holy crud. We've got a lot on that hoe. I've got cherry! I've got cherry now. Hello, my frogs. Okay, and then that's a different kind of cherry, and this is... Let's do vinery. Perfect. Do that, and then I want to take these chains. Put my moss carpet in there. Put all that in there. Weckle Sups, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Give me 1 second. Okay, so cherry. Oh, dark cherry.
I don't know. Take your pick.
Oh, these look so good.
Honk, honk, I'm a goose. That's the one. Use that one.
Use that one. Okay. Bye. Love it. I need to change that. What I want to do is golden cherry, dark oak leaves. Jay Wilson, thank you for the follow. It played Rifkin's again. Oh my gosh. Yonk, yonk, M Goose.
Yonk, yonk, M Goose. I don't know. Take your pick. Yonk, yonk, honk, honk, I'm a goose. That's the one. Use that one.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I love it. Okay, and then... Well, just... paint me like one of your French girls. What the heck? Alright. And then we'll put that in there. That gives us 90. Whew. You're back? You've finished and turned in your research paper? Well, nice. I hope it turns out good. Yeah, we can make this work. Because my crops are going to be all out over here. Oh, man. This is going to be harder than what I thought. Dog is healthy outside playing with the kids. Nice. Okay, all of our bees are happy. A little over 100. This is a pretty well optimized mod pack. It is. It is. Sometimes it's, you know, it's right now the problem is the nether. And so we have to fix that, which I believe it's getting fixed on Monday, so that's good news. I believe everybody right now is having Zine put their important builds in data drives at the moment. Whoops. So Zine's been doing that. Which, thank goodness, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to do that. All right, so this looks good. And then I can do... Hello. We'll do this. I figured I was gonna have to do some terraforming. Bro! Sorry, I'm gonna get a little heated at that. Ah! A build wand would come in handy. A build wand would be handy. Hi, Omen Voxel, how are you? Okay, so that's still cooking. There we go. Boink. Well, that never turned into a grass block. Darn it. There we go. Like that, maybe. You're here now? Welcome! Need more dirt. Trying to figure out how to optimize can be a little challenging. All right, so we have several piles of dirt, which is going to turn into grass. Supporting with ads? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that they bother you. But I appreciate your support. But was like, I hope you're ready for her. She's still a puppy. Has tons of energy. I told him it's cool. Heck yeah. Shoot, yeah. That's very exciting. Okay, and then this. I think this works. Oopsie daisies. What's in there? Oh. Wife is the most happy with her? Well, I love that. Good, good. Very nice. Oh, offensive. Heck yeah. What time is it? 6:46? Yeah, I got plenty of time. Break that torch. We have a mob torch, like a special kind of mob torch that prevents them from spawning. Oh. What the heck? Balls. That hurt. That made me go, ew. Your forged fabric connector? Also, I don't know when the pack is going to be live for public, but I think it will hopefully be soon. Okay. Okay, that works. Owie! Okay, I'm genuinely curious. Why am I not healing? I feel like I should be healing quicker than this. Like, ooh. For over a year now? Nice! Heck yeah. Well, thank you for your continued support. I appreciate it. Okay, so this looks good. What else can I do with this? Ah! Boom. Yikes. I wonder... Oh. Okay. Or do we just expand it out? Wait. I feel like expanding it out would just be easier. Yeah, this seems like it would be easier. But then again, everything's easier said than done. And I do have the dirt to expand. So, why don't I go ahead and kind of work on that? And then I do know one of the major things that we need to do this week is get ourselves a refiner. If you don't know what the use, frickin' balls. If you don't know what the use of a refiner is, it's gonna allow us to get biodiesel, which is something we do want. What's on May the 4th? With me in the background? Oh, I love that. I love that. If anything, honestly, I would think I'm distracting, but you know what? I'll take it. Oh. Ding dongs. It's fine. Oh, speak is 1 year? Oh, you're 1 year following! Oh my gosh. Has it been that long already? Okay. Time needs to stop passing so quick. Time needs to stop passing. You in the background keeps me from zoning out hard. Well, good. That actually, honestly, some people are like, oh, I could never take that as a compliment, telling me people are like, oh, I just use you for noise. It's like, please use me for noise. I don't care. I get it, dude. I get it. Of all people? Shoot, yeah, I get it. Are you kidding me? I'm definitely someone who understands the body doubling, needing help to focus. It runs in my blood. It runs in my genes. So, hey y'all. Kids want to make dinner tonight. It's gonna take them to the store. Nice, dude. Have fun. Have fun. Okay, so that looks good. That's really good. Later, Gators. Have a good night. Knock Steady Jazz. Thank you for being here. And then this is why this is so difficult. Then I got this over here. Balls. Whoops. What am I gonna do with this? Oh, wait, why did you go over there? That's why upon given the advice of put the apiary closer, I was like, uh-oh. I got a lot of stuff. My ears are always listening. The joys of hyperacusis? That sounds really cool. I'm sure at several points, though, it's very obnoxious. It's like when people try to tell others, oh, ADHD is a superpower. It's like, it's the most debilitating thing in my entire life. No. But I understand not everybody copes with reality, unfortunately. Yeah, I can make this work. Whoops. Oopsie daisies. Right, and then boom. Yeah, okay, this looks good. It's the same with autism, yeah. It's the same with a lot of these things. I'm just like, say it's a superpower one more time. I dare you. Say what one more time? What? How dare you? Oh. Bye forever? What? All right, and then this is why I was like, oh, frick, how am I gonna have the bees over here? Until you get to know me. Yep, oh my god, it's never fun. Everything is overwhelming and overstimulating because someone who just talks slightly louder sounds like they're yelling to me. So I understand that because with my ADHD, this is why I'm medicated, but I can be in a room. I'm chilling. What you want? Been chilling. Doing good. Fine. Chilling. And then I notice there's a lot of sound. Like a lot of sound. And the sound grows. It's when there's a bunch of people, a bunch of lights, a bunch of sounds. My brain sometimes, if my social battery is low, and I've been exposed to it for too long, sound, sights, colors, people, it doesn't grow necessarily for me. It's like suddenly someone just switched a flip, wow. Flipped a switch, and then everything is suddenly loud. Like, I know what it is, and it's part of ADHD. It's not that I'm inattentive, it's that we can't filter the stimulation. And so that's how usually if I'm on vacations and I'm at a casino or I'm an adult. Okay, I do what I want. Very rarely have I gambled, but I've felt it a few times where I'm doing good, but then it hits like hour 13. My medicine is almost out of my system. And then I'm doing something, somebody's talking to me, and then suddenly it's like I can't understand what they're saying because then everybody else's voice, the sounds, color sounds and all that comes in, and I'm like, I will start sweating because I'm like, I need to leave. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And sometimes it's just I was overwhelmed by something else stressful earlier in the day, and then I get exposed to a bunch of people, a bunch of sounds, and I'm sitting here just like, go away. But all of my friends and loved ones know this about me, so there's like certain signs that I start giving when it's like, you get me out of here. Zine is actually one of those friends. He's seen me when it's like, she needs to go. And I've also learned that if he doesn't pick up on it and he sees me look at him and I go, we're in a crowded setting, and I'm like, I have to go right now or I will stand up and do an Irish goodbye even if someone's still talking to me. And I always feel like an asshole when it gets to that point. It is extremely rare. It's really, really, really rare. In fact, really rare that I've only done it twice as an adult. Where it's not even necessarily Irish goodbye, but like I will get to the point where it's like I cannot absorb any more info and it's midnight or past midnight. I will literally go and walk away. What's an Irish goodbye? Leaving without saying goodbye to anyone? I've done that many of times. And I've gotten a text later like, hey, are you mad at me? And I literally will go, no, I was about to have a meltdown. I was so overstimulated. And it was like, oh, mad respect. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But if I know them really well, if it's like a good friend of mine, shoot, I'll be open and honest, say, hey babes, I gotta go right now because I'm actually going to just hold my hands over my ears and start going, get me out of here! Like, just let me go. I have very good control over my emotions, and I will not have a meltdown in public. In fact, I avoid that entirely. That's how well I know myself. But if it's like someone is not letting me go, we're talking like hostage situation here, social hostage situation. I will literally stand up and be like, hey, I have to go right now. There's an emergency, you know, something's happening. People are like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What's going on? And I'm like, can't talk about it, gotta go. And they're like, okay, yeah, I totally understand. See you later. First of all, I want to ask people who are neurotypical, in what world is it okay when somebody goes, hey, I'm having an emergency situation right now, to go, oh, what is it? Maybe it's just in my head. Maybe it's just me. But in my head, if somebody goes, I'm having an emergency situation right now, I need to go, my first thing is say, oh, okay, let me know if you need anything. Be safe. Do you need assistance? Okay. Bye-bye. No, apparently that's normal interaction. And so for those of you who are not neurotypical, oh, yo, actually, I have something crazy. Oh my God, y'all are gonna think this is insane. So I learned something from my psychiatrist recently. And also because I'm on a medication combo that it freaked me out at first. So my psychiatrist was like, hey, how's your medications doing? And I was like, good. So this weird thing happens sometimes though. And he's like, oh, what's going on? And I was like, so sometimes when I'm not doing anything, if I like close my eyes or if I lean back and just, I can just not think sometimes. And he's like, can you elaborate a little bit more? I'm like, yeah, well, when I get done doing something, you know, sometimes you'll rest your eyes, you know, but you still have thoughts. But I can actually rest my eyes and have zero thoughts, and it's like a time jump, and then I'm like, what just happened? Is that normal? And he goes, does it happen when you don't want it to happen? And I was like, no, not at all. And he goes, oh, no, that's just, yeah, that's, congratulations. Yeah, most neurotypical people who don't have any like cognitive issues, neurodegenerative diseases, anything like that. Yeah, the average normal person can not think when they don't want to think. And I was like, and which he goes, which is a wild concept to me because I literally don't stop thinking. So congratulations, you found the exact right combo that honestly you probably will never find anything better. And I was like, that's normal? And he goes, yes. That's how it's supposed to be. And I was like, so when people say close your eyes, clear your mind and rest, that's what they mean? And he goes, yes. And I was like, so when you ask somebody, what are you thinking about? And they say nothing, he goes, they literally mean they're not thinking anything. And I'm like, I thought it was a metaphor. I thought that it was just a social thing where people are actually thinking stuff, but they just don't want to say what they're thinking. Really? People just walk around with no thoughts, which honestly kind of makes sense if we look at the world around us sometimes, where it's like, you could think more. Some people could think more. Not gonna lie. You know, do you feel me? There's people I look at and I'm like, you could think more. I could think less. Please. Are you serious? Wait, what? Yeah. And I asked my mom this, who's a neurotypical, by the way. My mom, neurotypical, me, never. And I told her this and I said, yeah, I can just not think when I don't want to think. And she goes, with her glasses, she goes, everybody does that. Everybody can do that. And I'm like, ah! What? And so I'm like, so this whole time that you've been existing, if you were like, You don't want to think for a few minutes. You want to take a mental break. You can just not think. She goes, yeah, everybody can do that. And I was like, you're a freak. Like, I was like, no, not everybody can. She goes, what are you talking about? I was like, I literally have never been able to do that my whole life. And she was like, she goes, what? And I was like, yeah, never. I thought that my existence, normal. She goes, freak? And I'm like, no, right? And so she was like, everybody can do that. And I'm just like, I don't believe you. And I asked my psychiatrist, he goes, yeah. And I'm like, I don't believe you, even though you're a professional telling me this. Who has ADHD? But he's like, yeah, no, that's correct. Neurotypical people, when they don't want to think, they can just not think. Now I have to email my psychiatrist. They have an off button. That was what freaked me out, because I told my mom, I was like, so ADHD is like having 18 TVs on in your head. It's like 18 TVs on, and you have all this info, and you can't filter it. And my mom, she goes, oh, that sounds like hell. And she goes, oh, no wonder you were always so tired as a kid. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. It's like somebody put me in a dark room with 18 TVs on, a bathroom fan was left on, and it's foggy. PJOONK, where's the off button, right? But that was the crazy part, because I was like, the ADHD medication, what it does for me at least, is it turns off 15 to 16 of the 18 TVs. So it's like, with just ADHD meds, I have like 2 or 3 TVs on, which is way better than 18. And so by afternoon, I don't need to nap. I'm awake all day from when I get up to when I go to bed, and it's fantastic. Ah! I didn't know neurotypical people operated like that. And I was like, well, no wonder why the 9 to 5 exists for them. It's actually quite nice. I was like, what the hell, dude? And then, you know, this is why you should have friends and loved ones who know you well enough to be able to tell you things to your face. Hi, Stormy, welcome. And they were like, PJOONK, you're great and all. And I'm like, thank you, that's so sweet. But you do better when you're on ADHD medications and an SSRI. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's fair. I can see that. I can understand that. And so I talked to my psychiatrist, and he was like, that's a very good thing to tell me. Thank you. He was like, who told you this? And I was like, the people I live with and my friends. He goes, that's all I needed to hear. And he was like, what about acetylopram, which is, okay, Lexapro. Lexapro, oh my God. You have no worries in the world on Lexapro, just saying. Literally, you give me Lexapro, and it's like, I'm gonna take an eyes open nap. That right there, by the way, that brief pause that I just had, I actually had no thoughts right there. And so I'm just like, there was a thing about Lexapro, it gave me a sexual side effect. We're being completely open. I want to be real with y'all because you need to know what's normal, not normal. I had a sexual side effect, and I told him, and he goes, we don't want that. And I was like, no. And because often as women, we get ignored or ignore sexual side effects. Because usually when they say sexual side effects, they talk about erectile dysfunction. Your inability to finish or things like that, or something starts happening that's really funky, like twitching uncontrollably in the face. That's a sexual side effect, so nope. And so they put me on something called Vibrid, which is vilazodone, and I'm taking the minimum dosage with methylphenidate, 36 milligrams extended release, which is basically Concerta, which is the generic for Concerta. I take both of those. The first day I took vilazodone. With that, my brain felt like TV static for 30 minutes. And then 1 week later, so some of the side effects started going away. Another week later, more side effects go away. I'm on a few months now. I have no side effects. Vibrant is good, dude. I have never been this stable in my life. And there was that one time, though, I freaked out about being able to have no thoughts. And he was like, that's the land of neurotypicals. So basically, right now, medication, at least emotionally and mentally, I can imitate neurotypical. The one thing I don't like about Vibrant, though, if you've noticed, sometimes I stumble over my words or I'll mix a word up. Not the worst side effect ever, honestly. I would rather have that than anything else. So basically, I just do speech therapy. It's great. Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, now I can just be like, if I don't want to think about something. No thoughts. That felt like a few seconds, and it was probably quite a few seconds. You're dyslexic and have a stutter. It's normal for you. Hey, man. That does make me feel a little bit better, but also at the same time, I totally get that. I have dyscalculia, which is not too similar to dyslexia, but it deals with numbers. So yeah. Okay. I want that, but I also don't want to be a zombie. Do I look like a zombie? No, babes. I'm wearing floral again. I haven't worn floral. Oh my god. They were all right. I haven't worn floral since I was on Vyvanse and Lexapro. I'm getting my spark back. That's so good. I'm so happy about that. I didn't want to tear up. My no thoughts is watching something and knitting. My no thoughts now, I can literally sit here for a moment and just be like, and just enjoy the feeling. I don't know how to describe the feeling. It's like existing is nice. I said that to my psychiatrist. He goes, yeah? And I was like, yeah. He goes, most people like existing. That was when I was told, hey, do you need to talk to a psychologist? And I was like, yeah, I should do that sometime. He was like, probably be pretty wise. But yeah, most people enjoy existing and enjoy the feeling of existing. And I was like, interesting. You always have to do something with your hands, and knitting is something I've done for so long that I can do it without a thought. Thank you, Nico. Thank you. Your no thoughts is actively engaging in 3 things at once. Apparently, it's normal to be able to do nothing and engage in no thoughts. If you want to not think about anything, you just want to relax. It's like an inner peace. I'm not joking. And that was something I asked. I was like, do most people have like just an inner peace? And he goes, it's fine to not always have peace. And I was like, well, yeah, no, I understand that. But like on an average day where it's just like, I've successfully done this. Lean back, relax, have no thoughts, and just take a load off. And he goes, yeah. That's why people like taking a load off, is because you're taking the load off your mind and body. And I'm like, swooned. Unhappy when I relax because it feels like I'm not productive, even when it's compared to video games. Since my last relationship ended, I struggle to even watch movies. Hey, buddy. Welcome to anxiety, which I have almost none of. I have the standard level anxiety that most people should have. Like, you should have some anxiety. That's how you get things done. Like, oh, I need to do this, but not like a looming anxiety where it's constant. And I was like, so not everybody just worries about things all the time? No. Apparently not. So there was that. Gotta unlock your nurse Shifu. You have no in between. When I take my ADHD meds and I'm not having to do anything, either hyperfixating on something or literally I'm a zombie and feel nothing. When they're wearing off, I feel happy, but I can also get to be too many TVs on at once. You should tell your doctor that. You should tell your psychiatrist that, someone who specializes in ADHD. My psychiatrist specializes in ADHD. He has ADHD. I usually only choose psychiatrists who have my condition because that means that they can directly empathize and understand fully what I'm talking about when I say something. And that, in my opinion, is extremely important. Do you call them mushrooms or toadstools? These are toadstools. The mushrooms are right here. Red mushroom, and then we have toadstools. Also, all of our toadstools are poisonous, so. I do, but she doesn't want to mess anything up before I graduate college next month. She's making a good decision. Yeah, follow her recommendation. She is right. If you're stable, and that's actually very good, and you have a very good psychiatrist because of that, you don't want to mess anything up. If you're stable enough as is, my biggest piece of advice, don't mess anything up yet. I was already a train wreck on fire when I was approaching my end of college. I want to say, I was getting closer to the end. I wasn't fully at the end. It wasn't like the next month type deal. This was like a year before I graduate. I was crashing and burning. I failed 3 classes. No, I failed 2. I was going to fail a class. I dropped 3 classes. No. I never failed any of my classes. I kept dropping classes though. I dropped 3 classes, had 1 class left. And I made a C or a B, low B in it. But that was with all of my strength. And I looked her in the eyes and I said, I can't do this anymore. And she goes, this was before I had my current psychologist. She goes, you need to be on a stimulant. And I was like, that's actually why I'm here. Because I know you told me that before and I refused it. I'm done. I need just, yeah. Let's do Vyvanse. And she was like, thank God. And so I got on Vyvanse. That changed my life for the better. And I wish I would have done it sooner. Right now I'm on Concerta because the generic Vyvanse has a side effect that I don't enjoy. And it makes me a little bit too intense at times. Sorry, but methylphenidate it lasts as long, if not maybe more stable than Vyvanse. The crash isn't bad for me at all. In fact, I don't even notice a crash. With the Vybrid, I feel here stable and happy. Yeah, there's things that stress me out. Sure, I can still cry. I still can feel bad about things. But the difference is I don't spiral anymore or hyperfixate on the feeling. It's more of like, oh, okay, this is stressing me out. I'm very stressed about this situation. I can do this. I did, yeah, the last few semesters. The last year of college, I did summer classes. It was a dire situation. Dire, right? See what I did there? You've been hopping around ADHD meds, and I've gotten such bad effects like depression and more. Stimulants or non-stimulants? It's crazy that something like meds, they're supposed to help with anxiety, depression, etc., can give us more of it. Yeah, it's because every medication is different, and it's targeting neurotransmitters in a very different way. There's a reason why there's so many different ones, is because all different kinds can affect in different ways. Like Vyvanse, 10 out of 10, loved it. And then their patent was expiring, and then the brand name suddenly started going down in quality, and I was like, what the frick? That's not okay. And then the generic is not stable. They need quality assurance changes, let me tell you. But Vyvanse is what changed my life, and I'm doing good on Concerta, or the generic of Concerta, which is methylphenidate, which is a classic. It's the 90s, early 2000s era of medication. It's a classic. It's Ritalin, but different. The nicer. What's making the rainbows? I'll show you in a sec. Ugh, sorry, my nose is itching. You just have to get through this next month, then I can slowly be less of a pharmacy. I'm gonna tell you something that my psychiatrist told me. I told him, I said, I feel a little bit bad, almost like guilt, that I need more than one medication. And he said something that really changed my perspective. He asked me this. He said, why? Why do you feel that way? And I was like, because I feel like I'm failing myself. Like I should have tried harder, but at the same time, I couldn't. And so I feel like a failure. And he goes, needing more than one medication doesn't make you a failure. You can't control what your body naturally just doesn't make enough of. It's kind of out of your hands. You're doing everything right. You're exercising, you're eating healthy, you're practicing mindfulness, meditation, all this stuff. He goes, in fact, you're one of my easiest patients because of this. And I was like, most people just rely on the medication alone. You can't rely on a medication alone. And I was like, I know this. That's why I just kind of feel like my efforts weren't for nothing. But he goes, you shouldn't feel guilty about that. And I was just like, is it really okay? And he's like, yes, absolutely. So you always enjoy these talks. I work full-time in a pharmacy. Oh, thank you for your work. It's not easy, and I know you deal with a lot of bullcrap from customers. Retail pharmacy is probably one of the most stressful things to work. I've worked in retail, so I understand retail stress and dealing with customers. Pharmacy, whole other kind of crazy, a whole other breed of insanity. So thank you for what you do. It means a lot for people who are, I'll brag about myself for a moment. I deserve it. It means a lot to people who know these things and know, like, oh yeah, don't be an asshole to people who are just trying to help you. Like, I see people yell at pharmacists or get upset about something, and it's like, the pharmacist has nothing to do with that issue, and they're trying to help you. It blows my mind that people think it's okay to act a certain way. I'm just, my gasps are usually flabbered. Level thyroxine every day because you have an underactive thyroid. Al, I understand that. Hypothyroidism runs in my family. I'm actually trying to put off because usually hypothyroidism begins in the 40s in the women in my family. My mom, through lifestyle changes, actually managed to make her thyroid more active a little bit. So she actually had to lessen her dosage of levothyroxine. And so seeing that and knowing that, I'm trying to currently protect my thyroid and to prevent hypothyroidism. Actually, Ravenous, would you know good ways of doing that if that's even possible? I don't know how deep into pharmacology you are. Yes, why? That's what my therapist and psychiatrist told me, PJOONK, that it's like healing a broken bone. The goal is to help you get through what you're getting through and needs, but not to be on them forever. So Stabby Taco. Yeah, it was just for me. Yeah, exactly. And I want to say something here real quick. I'm a huge advocate for medicating ADHD because the consequences of not being medicated versus medicated are substantial. Like, you're not paying attention. You read a red light, you die or you kill someone else. You're not paying attention when you're working with heavy machinery, you die or you kill someone else. You struggle to do most things in your life task-wise. You're neglecting your health. You have a heart attack, you die. Your cholesterol gets out of hand. You're not eating healthy because you can't be fucked to do that. Pardon my French. You die of another health issue. You get diabetes. You get all these other health conditions that are not directly caused by ADHD, but caused by the lack of treating ADHD and being able to get a grip on your life, right? You're born, this is another thing, you're born with ADHD, you never outgrow it. It can get better sometimes in adult years. It can get worse sometimes in adult years. It got worse for me, unfortunately. Yes, I am gonna have to be on medication my whole life, unfortunately, but that's okay. I will need my ADHD medication and the SSRI. For some reason, some people are born with not being able to produce as much neurotransmitters, or they don't have their brain is not efficient at getting the reuptake of it or the inhibition of it. So for people like me, it is a life thing. It's unfortunate. Now, depression can also be caused by, while ADHD is 100%, you're born with it, you don't ever outgrow it. And it changes for women more often because of our hormonal cycles, but also someday in menopause, that's gonna throw me off again. And I know that. I'm not looking forward to that. I will need to be on it my whole life. Depression, you don't need to be on an SSRI necessarily. In fact, usually when it comes to SSRIs, I don't recommend SSRIs because some SSRIs, if you get on it, you cannot cold turkey it. There are SSRIs out there that will kill you if you cold turkey them, if you're at a high enough dose. Not trying to scare anyone here. That's the reality of being on a high dose and then just suddenly cold turkeying it. You can harm yourself. You wish the SSRI helped me? It doesn't help everyone. That's why I'm like, small amounts of selenium is good for hyperthyroidism. For me, it's hypothyroidism. So you need to get medicated for ADHD, for depression, anxiety. You're able to get on Lexapro for a little bit, and therapy really helped me eventually get off meds. I still have the symptoms and have PCOS and ADHD. It's just a weird investigating to figure out what's causing it. I have PCOS, endometriosis, ADHD, and then my depression. It's not really depression, but it's just part of my ADHD, and I just lack serotonin. So I have to have an SSRI. But mine's the lowest dose SSRI I have. Yeah, check your drug Bible, please. Your liver enzymes were bad. My liver enzymes are really good for my age, actually. my doctors were like, your liver's really healthy. And I was like, thanks. It's probably because I take in N-acetylcysteine every now and then. Actually, I've been taking it for a few months straight, 600. And then I also take glycine, which helps, and L-glutamate. You've cold turkeyed a low dosage of bupropion. Now I'm on Zoloft, and it actually works for me. That's nice. Yeah, dude, Zine is a huge mental health advocate. He knows way more. So Zine is probably the best person to talk to about depression because he has treatment-resistant depression, which freaking, not the Southern insult, but like, bless his heart, dude. That's rough. So if you're ever like, depression wise, I need info. He has way more just general knowledge about that than me because he exists with that. Mine is not treatment resistant depression. I cannot help anyone or give advice on that necessarily because mine is caused by ADHD. And so because mine is the comorbidity, it's different. Mine is way more treatable than what Zine's is. Mine is probably one of the most easiest treated because it's caused by ADHD. Yes, you can have more than one thing. 100%. You can have more than one of them. Sorry, the bees scared me a little bit. They just popped out. Oh my goodness, that was cute. All right. You have the anxiety, which is probably caused by autism. That is also something. If I don't leave a PJOONK stream without learning something new, I'll riot. I want to say something really quickly. I'm not a doctor. I am not a professional. I am just someone who exists with these issues and has talked to a professional who has given me the advice that I'm giving, but you should always talk to your doctors first and consult with your doctors. Because who knows? They may say, yeah, that's great and all, but like, not for you, or just something different. So consult with your doctors is what I'm gonna say. And that's the advice I have for you. If somebody ever is just like, oh no, you should not, you don't have to do that. Just trust me, fam. Don't listen to a person who gives you the just trust me, fam. You should always talk to your doctors. Yes, please do, honestly. Yeah. I'm just reiterating advice that I've been given. What works for me might not work for you. And that is something that is very important to know and to understand. So again, please just talk to your doctors, okay? My bad, dog. I won't disturb your beeliness. Yeah. Everyone deals with their lives differently. Yes, and everybody just has different conditions. Like, if you were to ask me, what is your advice for treatment-resistant depression? I have no clue, dog, because I don't have treatment-resistant depression. I do not know exactly what you're feeling. Also, don't be afraid to ask your pharmacists about your medications, drugs, or what they would recommend, because pharmacists actually know about medications far better than your doctors. Trust me on that. Ravenous Nico says, I'm not a doctor. I just have access to medical journals and pharmacology info. So selenium is good for helping maintain balance and boosting thyroid health. I guess it's good for both. Okay. something that my therapist said was, yes, we have a general stereotypes that we use to figure out what you have, but everyone is different. Yeah, that is also the truth. For example, every 3 days or so, I take an edible to help my anxiety and depression, a bit that helps me. So I can't say I'll help anyone else, but it does help me with mine. I also want to say, if you take an edible or if you smoke weed and it makes you extremely paranoid, you need to not smoke weed or take edibles ever again, because I'm not a doctor, but this is what I have been told by a professional. If you present signs of paranoia or you hallucinate, you have the genetic predisposition for schizophrenia. It doesn't mean you're gonna get schizophrenia, but if you smoke weed enough or you take things enough that activate that, you can and will most likely develop schizophrenia much later in your life if you continue to do so. I did not know that. And so I went, whoop, that explains my uncle. Okay, yeah, if it doesn't affect you in any other way, you're good. Sudafed caused me a lot of anxiety, so the doctor warned me to not use the drugs, yeah. Only thing, a threat is my food supply, yeah. That's the only thing that's a threat to you, is just your food supply. This is very nice. Okay, good. The bees are able to wander closer over here. I wonder... Sorry, the sound of that made me go, ooh. Okay, good. That won't electrocute them. Yeah, see, Sudafed just clears my nasal passages, so... I think I know what I'm gonna do with this area, so let me grab my shovel. And actually, let me go over here. We can clear a little bit of this. Yes, yes. And again, that advice that I gave about the paranoia, that's not to scare anyone. That's just so you have that info, do what you will with it. If you don't give a shit, pardon my French, then you do whatever you need to do with your life. Whatever makes you comfortable, whatever makes you happy. But if you do get paranoia from smoking the dank, just know you have that increased risk. Absolutely, OWO. Absolutely. I always encourage that. Pharmacists go to school for drug science. They are doctors of medicine. They study the drugs. They know more about them than the doctor who diagnosed you. It is their job, and that's okay. Exactly. That's why I wish doctors and pharmacists would consult with each other much more often. Woo! I usually like to ask my pharmacist questions sometimes of like, hey, so I got this thing going. Is that normal? And they'll hit you with it, yeah, usually. And then I told one of my psychiatrists, I was like, I'm worried about serotonin syndrome. She looked at the dosage of my medications. She goes, yeah, the biggest risk is in the first 24 hours. She looked at me and she goes, you're on such a low dose of this, and then this is perfectly fine. you're gonna be fine. Good luck. And handed it to me. And I was like, okay, so there's like no concern. When your pharmacist goes, yeah, you're fine. You good luck. You're good. Where are the Froggy Boys? Froggy Boys. Hypnotoad, Roberto, Moki, Wirt, Flapjack, Gudetama, Kermit, Brunhilde, Lily, and Mr. Toad. What a generic name, Mr. Toad. I love it. Okay, we need... Oh, I need clay. Oh. Zine gets annoyed by the music that's playing up here, but I gotta say, it's kind of funny. Kind of, just a little bit, because I'm like, aw, he cares about my creatures. My boys are free! Oh, missed opportunity for Toadette. Me when the stock market crashes, I'm in Toadette. Was that too soon? That was too soon, yeah. My bad. My bad. Yeah, it was funny. Like the other day when I put, what did I say? I said something like, drop, my sanity dropping like the NASDAQ. And I was like, is that too soon? I asked Zine, I said, do you think this is too soon to joke about this? And he was like, I was just like, damn it. I still did it anyways because it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. It was apt. Do that. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Yonk! And Toadad, if it's a male frog. You just finish your book by the end of the day on Monday? Ooh. You got this.
Can I get a Hoya?
I believe in you. Oh, yeah! That did sound like Toad. Okay, I do like how that looks. Then... Yep. Wait. Whoopsies. Boom. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, my beautiful bees. Okay. Now we have permanent water source. Very nice. Boom. Yeah. Ooh. I like that. Okay. That looks so good. They always calm me down. Well, good. I'm glad that you get joy and calmness from my streams. I know that I don't always bring the calmness, but it does bring me joy that other people find joy from the good contents. So thank you. That really does mean a lot to me. Pretty pond. Thank you. What if we do that and then Ooh, do I have sand? I do. Because I need to get the bees to be closer. Let's put these bees right there so they can get close access. And then what I'm gonna do oh, it stayed. Interesting. Then I'll do that. I do like it. How do the other trees usually do this? Oh, I see. Well, what I could do is that. It's so long, boy. Favorite. All right, and then I didn't bring my screwdriver, but that shouldn't be too much of a hassle. Oop. Oh, wow, it got a lot darker. Okay. Oh, let me get my scaffolding. Scaffolding! Here's my scaffolding. Screwdriver? My screwdriver's gotta be downstairs. Sprite cranberry? What was making the weird crunching noise? Probably the honey dripping. I want to say that's what it is. That's my hammer. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I have a boiling pot. Ooh. Ouchie. Crunch. Crunch, crunch. A little bit maunchy, a little bit crunchy, but not bad. I'll worry about that tree in a minute. Where? Right, okay. So I need to put this like that. I grabbed the wrong hammer. Darn it. need my engineer's hammer, which the other one died. Okay, so that looks good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Boom, baby. And then we are going to scaffold it. Howdy, partner. Very nice, partner. Okay, so this one was going directly through. But we don't need that to be a direct through. Yeah, so if I'm changing how that's gonna operate, let me get my LVs. Because these are low voltage, I don't have to worry about electrocuting myself, thankfully. We'll just grab all of our low voltage supplies. Come up here. I need to get a better look at this. So... Hey, bro. Kind of like that, yeah. Yeah, okay, so we can have it like that. And then I'm gonna do... pass through. We need to pass through here. Fun, okay. This is gonna break a lot, isn't it? Damn it. Balls. Okay. It's fine.
Cranberry.
Do you have any McDonald's skins?
No, I don't have any McDonald's skins. That's not what I was expecting. Sorry about that. No. But... I mean, I could... But I also don't have bedrock, so... yeah, recipes. Rip. That spells piss. Alright, let me dig out of here. Hold on. Fuck. I'm stuck in a ground! I realized I have scaffolding. I just kind of scaffolded my way out. But I didn't. We're saving the bees right now, Weenus. Yeah, I wish they did it for Java. Yeah, the thing about Java, though, is you could just make it for free. Fuck the bees. Not literally. Coward? Listen, I want to go get a McDonald's meal and see what I get. What's like the rarest thing you can get from McDonald's? Oh, I have to play Lethal Company in a moment. It's the scarf. My health? Oh, my health is fine. The purple egg guy is pretty rare. Do you mean Grimace? Sir, do you mean Grimace? Riley Tits. PJOONK! Dude, I love your name. The Grimacy. Okay. Don't ever speak to me or my dog ever again. Let me launch. We're switching to lethal. For those of you who are unaware.